Hi everyone, we're back. We have Paper and Home in the studio. They're going to talk to us about stationery and invitation trends. So Katie, let us know a little bit about you.
So we're Paper and Home. We've been in Las Vegas for about 10 years, and we customize in making your dreams come to life. So really anything you can bring us, we make that vision cohesive for your whole wedding.
Very cool. And what changes have you seen happen in the industry in regards to wedding invitations?
Oh goodness. So a lot of what's happened recently is people needing to send out resave the dates or a second invitation because of having to postpone.
Yes.
So we're seeing some people choose digital, but in such a digital world, it is really nice to still send out paper and people get that experience.
Emails get lost and,
Exactly. And, it could go to spam. You never know. And then you have somebody who doesn't know. So it's really important to find a new date that's going to work for you. Make sure that that's a date that's going to work for you. And then really stick to it, go through, send out your resave the date to let your guests know.
And a lot of people have been having fun with these resave the dates, so it's not like
goodness.
It's a boring thing. Like it can be really fun.
We've seen everything from people getting, Corona bottles involved because it's the coronavirus to, let's roll with it and sending out one with a toilet paper on there. So it's been kind of more, let's find the humor in it because at the end of the day, you're still going to get married and you're still going to have your wedding and it's still going to be everything you wanted.
Absolutely. So how have expectations and needs changed with couples post-COVID?
So I think one of the biggest things we've seen is that there's a lot of hurry up and wait. So people are getting right to that maximum deadline and then they're needing to make that decision and they're still a little apprehensive about committing. So we try and ease, their fears that it's okay. Like your guests will understand in any circumstance if you make them one of the 50 who gets to attend in person or somebody who's going to attend virtually. And a lot of times you're taking that pressure off of them that they don't have to attend in person, that they may have been apprehensive anyways.
And is there something you do different with the invitations if they're like attending in person versus virtually? Like do you actually print separate versions?
Absolutely. So we've seen a couple where we've either printed a different version totally, but they still look exactly the same. The verbiage is just different.
Okay.
To where we've printed different sizes, maybe different techniques on it. So, people that are attending in person might get the glitter backer, where the people that aren't attending just get a regular paper backer. Keeping it really personal
Cost effective too there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and most people are choosing to invite in person their close relatives, the people that they know will be there, the people that mean the most to them, and not saying that their whole guests don't mean the most, but when you're having to pare it down to 50, you really want it to be the people that are going to be in your life the whole time,
For sure. What are the steps a couple should take if they choose to postpone?
That's a great question. So there's quite a few steps, but the first is to make sure you contact all of your vendors because you're going to need to find out, first of all, if you can get a new date. And then secondly, for invitations, how quickly can you get it turned around? We're trying to speed up a timeline that's typically 4 to 6 weeks and make it just a little bit faster because we know that it's on a time crunch and that you're needing to speed it up.
So not like we just forgot and waited till the last minute here.
Exactly. Those are the first two, and then really prioritizing your lists is what I would say. So go through your list, see who you want there. Like these are people, if they aren't there, I'm going to be heartbroken.
Right.
And then make your next list. Okay, these are people that I would want there if I had the room, but I'm not going to be heartbroken if they're not there. And then make that C list, and that's really what it's coming down to, is to making sure that you have those lists already in place and then delegating. So we've had some people that have chosen to go ahead through with their wedding and had to drastically cut their list. This is where you can get your whole team involved. Get your bridesmaids involved, your groomsmen. Let them be the ones to contact people as hey, we're cutting down the list.
It's like, you have a good excuse. There's really no choice in this specific situation.
It's not like they're just changing what they're doing.
And I imagine like
everywhere.
accessibility can be another thing they keep in mind. Like, you know,
Yes.
they may really want this person to be here, but like maybe it's less likely because they live
Exactly.
somewhere far away and travel is not really convenient right now.
I think that is another great option, is to take people that are going to be traveling from afar and giving them the option to either attend in person or attend virtually. And most of them are going to choose to attend virtually. So we've had brides, back to you saying, what have we seen with invitation wise, where they'll send them the invitation that says, yes, you can come in person, but then the options are to attend virtually. Like, I'm not going to attend in person, but I will be attending virtually.
Awesome. Now, I know you brought us some additional items to look at. We have some pieces over here that look like you have some kind of fun stuff. Can you tell us about those?
Absolutely. So it's not that we just do invitations. You have to think about paper from the moment you get engaged until you're sending out your thank you cards. So you're going to want your save the dates, your invitations. You're going to need menus, programs, table cards, so those can be place cards or escort cards. But we can even do fun stuff. Matches are coming back a little bit. Personalized napkins, so that your guests have that for the cocktail hour. Bathroom napkins. Poker chips are very popular here in Las Vegas. You know, it's such a Vegas theme.
For sure.
But the poker chips and
playing cards.
Thanks, Beth. We have some people that want something that their guests can take back with them. So doing a door hanger that goes on the door. You know, hey, I was partying all night at the wedding of so-and-so.
Do not disturb.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can even get fancy and do, you know, personalized labels on champagne, and just, I mean, the options are endless. And then when you get to your thank you cards, just something simple, you know, to thank your guests, you know, that maybe didn't come but sent a gift, or to let them know, hey, here's a picture of us on our wedding day. We're so sorry you weren't there, but here you can still see us.
Right, that's nice. Now, and you also have this really cool piece in the corner up here. This is
yes, our acrylic seating board. So not just paper, but acrylic is really huge right now. People are wanting that look of something there without it being there.
Very cool.
This is frosted acrylic that has the writing on it in black. And backlit, so it shows up nicely. You can put holes in it like we have there, so it hangs. We've seen people hang these from like a copper, what would you call that, stand?
Copper stand.
Up to, you know, just putting it on the easel.
Very cool. Yeah, well, easels are always convenient, and you can find such lovely ones that really add to the look and feel as well.
Absolutely.
Well, very cool. Well, can you tell our viewers how to get a hold of you? What's the best way to start the process?
Absolutely. So you can reach us online at paperandhome.com. There's a book my consultation button. If you go there, you can say everything from what type of event you're having, when the date is, and when you'd like to come in and see us. So we are doing in-person consultations by appointment only, and then we are also doing virtual and telephone consultations as well. So really whatever works best for you. We have some brides that live out of state, out of country. So, you know, obviously we're going to opt for a Zoom consultation, but we are still having people in, because I know for myself it's important to feel the product in the paper.
And it's a product that the person's going to receive, so it's you know, it's not a digital invitation. You want to feel it. Yeah.
And if you are doing a digital invitation because you cannot come in, we do send you sample packets. So we narrow it down to, okay, you're looking for a natural white. Do you want it shiny or not shiny? We'll send you both samples so that you can really feel it, so you know what your guests are going to be getting.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned that you have a 4 to 6 week leeway for creating, or, you know, bringing in the invitation. Plus, of course, there's a time for shipping the invitation.
Absolutely.
So at what point do you recommend, how far out should a couple start the process?
So we used to say you wanted to mail your invites about 6 to 8 weeks prior to your wedding. That's been pushed back, I would say, about 10 to 12 weeks right now. So you're going to want to start the process about 3 to 4 months before your wedding to make sure you can hit that date. It's not as critical to be in that 10 to 12 weeks, but it gives your guests that you are asking to attend in person just a little bit more time to decide, like, hey, is this doable? Is this something I want to, you know, still commit to going to? and not attend virtually.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that information. That's really
Absolutely.
helpful. It looks like we have a couple audience questions.
Absolutely.
There are some questions. So, would you say that the save the dates then should be about 1 year out?
So that's a great question. We used to say 6 to 8 months, but if you have the time, going up to a year out is definitely doable, especially with what's going on right now.
Right.
And
Might
people
not
are
get it on the calendar.
exactly. We're seeing weddings pushed so far out now that you want to make sure that you let your guests know as soon as possible to save your date. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, and I guess another question on here was, if they do decide to do a virtual component of one of their items here, would you say what would be your suggestion to the bride? Like, a save the date virtual? Should it be maybe safer a thank you? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
If they had to, or they were considering to do something virtual,
Which
or
piece?
digital, what would be your suggestion?
I would say that your save the date could definitely be digital, because then you're getting it out to your guests. You can still send the invite in enough time that if it did go to spam, hopefully it didn't, but if it did, that you are still getting it in their hands in enough time that they will know your date.
And now having a digital save the date doesn't necessarily mean go just make a Facebook event. Like
Yes,
Paper and Home
exactly.
can still do that.
We can
Yeah.
still make you a digital save the date that will match your invitation. We're all about cohesiveness. So we want it to still have your theme carried throughout, because your invitations are really the first thing your guests are going to see that give them that touch of what your wedding is going to be like. So you want it to still carry throughout from the save the date through to your invitation.
Very good. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being here. Thank you for
Absolutely.
all that information and for showing us all these beautiful things.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Laura.
We'll see you again really soon. We're going to have a commercial for you all, and then we're going to be bringing in Rolling and Dough to talk to us about cakes.